Hi, today I'm just going to be sharing 5 common mistakes that people who are looking for PhD opportunities make, and therefore they are unable to get admissions or even a scholarship for a PhD. If you're new to this channel, it's me, Dr. Oyinda, and on this channel, I share inspiring content, useful content that would help you in your journey, either as a student or as one who is trying to look for opportunities home or abroad. Okay. 5 common mistakes that people who are looking for PhD opportunities make, and therefore they are unable to get this PhD. The first thing is whether you are intending to fund your PhD yourself, maybe you're a self-funded PhD student or potential student, or you're looking for a paid studentship, a PhD opportunity that already has funding. Either of them, there are things that you need to do or things that you need to stop doing to increase your chances of getting an admission or to increase your chances of getting a PhD admission. The first mistake that people make who are looking for PhD opportunities make is that they make a bad first impression. Imagine yourself as a lecturer. You have many things to do. And then someone writes you an email and the email is just, tacky. You just close that email and get back to what you were doing. So what you need to do is that you make a first good impression. Make sure that your email is well written. So it captures his attention, the attention of the supervisor. In other words, you have to sell yourself. You have to write things that would lure the supervisor to keep reading. So put things that interest the supervisor. So for example, you should have done your research. Look at his research interest. Pin your email to highlight this interest and how you are interested in it, what you are willing to offer, what you are bringing to the table. If you are self-funded, you can tell him that how you have secured a scholarship or how you intend to do this. That way, the supervisor is not thinking you're going to be wasting his time or you're wasting his time. He keeps on reading. So you need to make a good first impression, okay? So that's the first thing. Always make a good first impression. And I think the same thing goes to people who are looking for jobs as well. Once you are not able to make that first impression, you are not likely going to get that job because they would not, they would not give you that job. So that's the first thing. Then the second mistake that people make is that they don't have a research proposal. How could you be looking for a PhD and you don't know what you want to do? Then you don't sound like someone who is serious. So the next thing is that you need to write a good research proposal. In subsequent videos, I can go into details of how to write a research proposal if you're interested in that. Okay, so the second thing is that you must have a well-written research proposal that you are, ready to share with your potential supervisor, or maybe even if you are applying for a PhD opportunity, you have it at hand and you're able to share it immediately. Then the third thing is funding. Usually, the lecturer or the professor has limited funding or is still looking for funding. You need to be able to show that you can do this. You can either get the funding or you know how to write grants. You can show the supervisor that you can get funding. So for example, if you are a self-funded PhD student, write it up and let the person know that you are looking out for scholarships and you've applied to a few scholarships. However, you need to be able to secure a supervisor before they take you to the next step. So the PhD or the supervisor will think, oh, okay, this one is serious, this one is proactive, is doing something towards getting funding. Or even if you don't have that or you're not at that stage yet, you can talk about your ability to apply for grants and scholarships and all of those things. So when you start your PhD, at some point, you would have to write grants. You have to make grant applications, and because these professors are always doing these things to get funding for the next research they want to do. And usually they use their students as well to do this. And so they want some students who has some ability or is quite teachable or has potential to be able to do this. So you need to show this. The first mistake people make who are looking for PhD opportunity is that they don't plan. Okay, so it's lack of planning or preparation. So you know that you're looking for a PhD. There are certain things that you need to have at hand before you start, actively looking for a PhD. So for example, I have talked about a research proposal. Write one, sit down, Write a good research proposal, one that highlights what you want to do, what we already know, your methods, your plans, and everything. So that's one of the things that you need to do. Make sure that your cover letter is specific to whoever you're addressing it to. You cannot have one generic cover letter that goes to everybody. So be prepared. Plan yourself every time you want to make, and this also ties on to that first point, that first mistake that people make, not having that good impression. So if they see that you're not well prepared or you're a disorganized person, who wants to be stuck with a disorganized person for the next 4 years, supervising that person? No one wants to do that. They're too busy to do that. So you need to be well prepared. Most times, if you're looking for PhD scholarship, most times there are times that the scholarships come out and you need to be prepared for it. So in June, a scholarship for the next year session comes out and it's going to be open for a window of 2 months. And what are the things I need? From previous experience or from research, I have seen that they need referee, they need a proposal, they need an admission, they need you to write a cover letter or a statement of purpose, and all of those things. Make sure that you have all of those things. They need your transcripts. So apply for your transcripts. Get your certificates. So you need to plan. You need to plan because opportunities, they come and they go. And once you lose it, if you're not lucky, you might not be able to get another one. So that's another mistake that most people make, and that hinders them from getting PhD opportunity. And the last and the final mistake I'll be talking about now is the lack of patience or resilience. These things don't happen overnight. Looking for a PhD is work. It's like looking for a job, because it's almost like your job for the next 4 years. You need to have that patience. You need to keep working at it. I was just looking through my emails and I discovered at the time from which I contacted my PhD, my PhD supervisor, and the time I started my PhD was like almost over 1 year. So in other words, I got my supervisor 1 year prior to the time I started my PhD. Okay, so it's patience. And before then, I had been sending messages to so many supervisors, trying to get their attention or to get them to supervise me. So it takes time. Be patient. It's process. Just walk the process and you would see. If you keep at it, you would eventually get what you're looking for. All right, so that's me. I just thought to share those 5 mistakes. The first mistake is making a bad first impression. The second mistake is not writing a research proposal. And the third mistake is not getting the funding or be able to show that you can get a funding. The fourth mistake is lack of planning or preparation. And the fifth one is lack of patience or resilience. Okay, so if you are able to pay attention to these 5 mistakes and avoid them, then you would increase your chances of getting a PhD opportunity and eventually an admission, So please just pay attention to these things. And if you find that information useful, like, comment, and share with other people as well. And I'll be back on this channel again to share some insightful information with you. Okay, until then, bye.